all of you. If you're on Zoom, you'll be able to ask Dino questions directly. If you're on Facebook, we will get your message across to Dino. So today
Hello.
we have, hello.
Hello, hello
Today
everyone.
Today we have Dino, and
Hi,
Dino
John.
is a brand ambassador. Dino is from the Philippines. He is a wonderful artist. It's great to have him with us today or any day. So please ask him questions. Hello, Dino.
Hi, John.
Good to
Hi,
see
everyone. Good to see you too.
you. So go ahead.
Yeah, it's so nice to have you. I mean, it's a privilege to be here today. And yeah, I'm quite excited to share my new piece again, second time around.
Yeah. So it's wonderful. So we're going to watch a PowerPoint of Dino's work, correct, Ethel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then after that, we'll talk to Dino, and Dino will start his demonstration.
All right. I will do the share screen now.
Put this on.
Do we see this, the slide? Yeah. So Dino has of course, he's in Facebook and Instagram if you would like to follow his social media accounts. And the next couple of slides will be some of his sample artworks. And I've already briefed Dino to share a line or two about each of these artworks.
Okay.
So we start with this piece.
Okay, this piece was actually it's a composition piece. I took this shot somewhere here in Cebu, and then the two boys was in a different spot. I just created it to to have a story, and then the story behind this one is all about the dream of the younger brother, the older brother, who wants to to become a seafarer, as it's one of the can we say lucrative job? It's not
Yeah.
really a lucrative job. Yeah, one of the main source of for the how do you call this one
To become a seaman.
to become a seaman. Yeah. And then I really wanted this scene because of the colors. It's really a contrast between the green and the oranges that I uses. Yeah. And this one was a piece of, I think this was painted way back 2018, 19. Yeah. And then this piece was taken around 2021, if I'm not wrong. Yes. And this is all about the two boys was playing in somewhere near the steel houses. And then it's all about the concept for this one is all about tossing someone, like lifting someone, something like a story behind the success, something like that. And then this one is a demo piece done way back 2019. I was invited by I think, if I'm not wrong, it's Indonesia, right? Yeah, it's a demo piece in Indonesia. Yeah, workshop.
In case you're wondering why Dino is turning his head to his left, and that's because the two of us are in one room.
What size is this paintings, Dino?
The blue one is the boat with the title of this one. I think this one is a small one. It's only 12 by 14, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, the painting is no longer with me.
And the other boat one?
The first image that this one is 15 by 21. And then the big one, the green one, the two boys that's in the boat is
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a big one. This is 76 by 56 centimeters.
Nice.
And then the other one is also 76. This one is 15 by 21. So yeah. And then this one is a commission piece by a friend of mine.
It's full sheet.
No, it's not a full sheet. This is 15 by 6, 21 yeah, inches. This one is also a demo piece from one of my workshop. And this one is also a demo piece from my wife.
That one's good looking.
Thank you. And this one is also a piece dedicated to the exact event for this one. Okay, this piece was done 2 years ago. And it's all about the family value of these two kids. Yeah, he was teaching her his younger sister how to fish. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the end of the slide, John.
Those are beautiful. I love your
Thank-
portraits.
Thank you, Dan.
Quite beautiful.
Your watercolors are really amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Do you have a favorite type of paper you like to paint on?
Favorite subject? Sorry,
Paper.
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 Okay, for paper, I like to use rough, mostly rough, but or cold press, arches or Saunders, waterfall.
Are
Yes.
you willing to speak to the freedom and the looseness that's happening on the background of your paintings and about the philosophical decisions you make to get to that point? Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, it's really intended. I wanted to stick that style. Yeah. So as not to make my painting just my own expression of my own painting, so as not to make it stiff, since I already have a lot of details in most of my paintings. So I wanted to have a full contrast on it.
Dino,
I
are you taping your paper down with traditional tape?
I said this is an artist tape. Yeah, I wanted to.
Tree
No.
sticking?
Yeah, this is just an artist tape. It's not an ordinary tape.
It's not masking.
It's not a masking tape. Yeah, this one won't stick much. It won't damage your paper when you take it out.
When I mean traditional tape, I mean gum tape that you used to have to wet.
Yeah, sometimes if I stretch my paper, I used to I'll put gum tape, but this one I'm using block,
Right.
an
Uh-huh.
artist. Yeah, so no need to stretch it.
Right.
Awesome.
Okay.
So do you know, is it okay if we ask you questions as you paint, or do you want them at the end?
Yeah, you can ask me anytime along the way.
Okay.
Yes, at least it's interactive. Yeah. So one thing I told Ethel about this the demo piece, and aside from I already did this painting, it's much more easier for me. But one thing I really like most of this piece is the color that I chose. I use Indantron blue for the background, most of the background, plus the Jedi genuine. Which somehow it's kind of not really hard, but it's for me it's conventional because of the granulating colors that I highlighted at the background. But I think it works well for me. Yes. And then for the reflection of the boat, I use the blue, which is the Predator blue. And then what blue? What else? Oh, lighter blue and lavender for the areas of the white boat on top of it. It's really a cool contrast for these colors. So to begin with, of course, I need to do the background first, and then going down below to the water. So can I type on?
Yeah.
On screen?
Dino,
Hi.
can you talk to us about your palette and what key colours you have there that you use regularly?
Sorry. Is it,
Are you asking about the colors that he uses regularly? Yeah.
Is general overall palette and what are the ones that he dips into on a regular basis?
okay. For the warm colors, I use more often. I mean, yeah. For the yellows, for the warm colors, I use new gumbos.
Mhm.
And then for the earth colors, I use cuticle grown burnt orange. And in contrast with the blue,
We just lost you.
Do we know what colors are on his dot card?
Yes.
Could
Yes.
we talk through those while he's getting back online?
Yeah, we could probably pull them off the website and put it in the chat.
You may find on the dot card finder.
Yeah, I found them. So his dot card contains imperial purple, cadmium orange hue, oh boy, I can't say that, indanthrone yellow,
Oh,
new gamboge, yellow ochre, alizarin crimson, Prussian blue, sap green, hooker's green, serpentine genuine, phthalo blue green shade. Is it carbazole violet?
Carbazole violet, yeah.
Yep. Payne's gray, cobalt blue, cerulean blue, quinacridone deep gold, hematite genuine, and pyrrole orange.
Yes.
Nice job.
He's back.
hello. Sorry for was lost for a while. Yeah. Okay. Can we start?
You're fine. We just went over your dot card colors.
Okay. So for my background, I'm using this, the Jedi Genuine, the green, and then a little bit of indanthrone blue. So I'll try to wrap this up, John, for within 1 hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's actually, you don't have to wrap it up. It's more the process, Dino, and people asking you questions and getting your insight. That's probably the most important part.
Okay. Yes, sure.
So don't feel rushed.
Okay. So in this painting, I highlighted the temperature of this painting. I used some color theories for this one, like the warmth of the sun hitting these two kids. Yeah. Have you? Okay, this is my reference painting, which I did a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. So I wanted to paint another version for this one, which is a loose one, and then with the same feel, with the same mood. Right. By the way, this is Payne's blue gray. Payne's blue gray, and then I mix it with Jedi genuine. For the background. So I wanted to have the feel of the pigment.
Can you tell us about the brush that you're using?
This is Skoda number 12. This is squirrel brush. The original image for this is a lot of details at the back. You can see the trees, the mangrove at the back, which I don't want to highlight it because it might grab the focus of my focal point. So the intention is to subdue the background with an impact. So that's my intention here.
Share more about the piece. About the piece.
So the piece is all about, you know, the elder brother who was having an ambition or dreaming to become a seaman, because, you know, in Philippines, especially in provinces in Philippines, that's what I wrote in my post in Instagram and Facebook. Most of the big houses in provinces, like living in far from the city, is owned by a family member who's working abroad, or a seaman or seafarer. So it's really a dream for the neighbor to become to have a family member who can work as a seafarer or work abroad. The brush that I'm using right now is Leaf. The series is David Taylor. It's a Kolinsky brush. And I really like how this brush handles water.
Dino,
Hi.
is mixing the paint on the palette a deliberate thing that you're doing, rather than actually let it mix on the page, on the paper?
Yeah, sometimes I use paint straight from the tube. It depends on if I wanted to have a really fresh colors, I do it. But sometimes I also do a mixing. Yeah,
Right. Thank you.
that's case to case basis. And then I put
Do you like to paint plein air or mostly in your studio?
I do paint plein air for practice, but for exhibition, I do most of my paintings are studios, but I can paint plein air too. But it's really, it's really a big help if you do plein air. Sometimes the mood is different from the studio. And then there are colors which cannot be achieved in photos in the actual in the actual painting. Yeah, you can ask questions anytime. Yeah.
Right, Dino. Mrs. Jackson, my wife,
Yeah.
is from the Philippines.
Wow.
And at some point, I'd like to go over there and take, at the very least, photos to come back and paint. Where would you recommend?
You wanted to come back here in Philippines?
Mm.
If you're used to city life, might as well consider living in provinces. It's really I mean, a bit laid back, but it's more serene,
Mhm.
less traffic. Yeah.
Not to actually live there for any length of time. I mean, to like come over and be a bit touristy and take photos and maybe even a plein air painting. If I get
Okay.
time.
Is she from
It's up north
Bisaya?
where she comes from.
Okay,
Near
from
Clark Air Base.
okay, it's from Luzon.
Luzon.
Luzon, I'm not really sure which is best for plein air in Luzon and Clark. Would you know?
I'm quite happy to, if I do get that one opportunity to go, because it's quite expensive. I'd like to do a little whistle stop tour at Philippines if I possibly can, to some nice places and at the very least take some photos.
Yeah, I think for if you wanted to paint in Philippines, I think there's a lot of good spot to paint too, aside from city scenes. Yeah, I'm not so familiar with the scenes in Clark because I'm here in Bisaya. Bisaya is from Central, right? We're from Central. Yeah, we're from Central part.
All right.
Yeah, the region.
Is Central Park where Manila is?
No, Manila is in Luzon,
Northern.
north. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a question on Facebook from Sandra Ball asking,
Yes.
may I ask how many years you have been painting professionally?
Total years of painting is more than 20 years, but it's on and off since I'm not a full-time artist. Yeah, I only paint when I have spare time to paint. Yeah, it's almost 20 years, something like that. But I did not stop painting ever since. I mean, of course, it's not really what I mean is stop is like for stop for good. Like it's only if I have spare time, then I will paint. Yeah.
Dino, what are the subjects that inspires you most? How do you choose your subjects?
Okay, so most of my subjects are sea scenes because I was born and in the province here in the Philippines, and we always travel a lot through by ships, by boats. So most of my paintings are really on on the coastal scenes. But I can paint portraits, um, still life. I think yeah, I can paint anything in my palette.
You live near the sea?
Sorry.
You live near the sea?
Not really near the sea, but our place is a small city situated in nearby the sea. Yes, nearby, not really nearby the sea, but it's small city. Yeah. Then I travel a lot.
Your backgrounds are wonderful. The picture
Wow.
that you're painting now, very contrast.
Thank you. Yes.
I like them.
Thank you. So what I'm doing right now is I don't want to fiddle more on the details, because I wanted to change my old style of painting. And not really change, but I wanted to add more character in my paintings. Because last time I was a bit hesitant to throw in more colors in my paintings. I was inspired by one of my friends. I was in his studio. I saw his painting. It's really brilliant, but a bit contrast to my style. So what I did is I picked up some of his style and put it in my, yeah. I think that's what we do as an artist. We keep on looking for inspirations, and then of course, add it to your own style.
Dino,
Hello, yeah.
when you do add colors, new colors that you wouldn't normally work with, is it just a random expression and see how it works, or is it something that you think carefully about and plan out color wise?
Okay, it's a good question. Sometimes you need to plan your color first, especially if you wanted to portray the temperature of the painting. You need to have you need to sort out the colors first before throwing into your paintings. That's my own take for that. But sometimes if it's really an impromptu, like a simultaneous spontaneous drawings, all I have to consider is the value of the colors. That's it. But most of the time I plan my color palette.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dino, do you do sketches of pieces before you do a painting?
Yes, I do a thumbnail, a lot of thumbnails before I start the actual painting. But for this piece, since I already did this painting, I think I don't need any more thumbnail for this one. Thumbnail for me is like something like a rehearsal before going into the actual painting.
On
You know, which
Facebook, Sandra has a question asking, which blue is your favorite and why?
Blue, my favorite blue is the ultramarine blue.
Look at John doing thumbs up.
Yeah,
Mine-
famous John. I love ultramarine blue.
Dino, why is it your favorite?
I like the kick of the blue. The ultramarine blue is a warm blue. I love it's easy to throw in contrast colors for that, for me, for my own take. Yes.
Awesome.
Is there going to be a day when we run out of ultramarine blue because it does get used a lot?
I'm sorry. Did you get it?
I was just saying, it's a favorite of many artists. Is there going to be a day when we run out of ultramarine blue? Maybe that's one John might be able to answer. He's
No,
shaking
we'll
his
never run
head.
out of it. It's a synthetic.
Oh,
and
is it?
It's
Yeah,
so
of course it is, yeah.
popular in the world. It'll be there for pretty much ever.
Right, yeah, it is, yeah.
Mm.
We have some questions on Zoom asking, do you practice your drawing regularly? And another asking, what drew you to watercolor paints?
Okay. First question. Yes, I practice drawing more often. It's really connected in my profession because I need to draw on site, because it really helps improve the drawing skills. And then for watercolor, why I choose watercolor is I like the medium. You can paint anywhere without any smell. Then it can easily dries up, and it's really handy medium. And then I really like the challenge of this medium. It's not everybody that can paint watercolor, because I mean, just my own take. It's hard medium, but the moment you can tame your medium, it's really wonderful.
As a follow-on question, do you work in any other mediums?
Yeah, I used to paint oil.
Right.
What else? I think I have acrylic paintings way back when I was still in high school. Yes, but now not anymore.
Mhm.
But I can paint other mediums. But I prefer watercolor.
Have you been able to transfer any oil ideas and techniques over to watercolor, or is it a matter of abandoning that and not using that at all?
Since I have not been painting oils for quite some time, I did not anymore do that thing anymore. Yeah, but I can paint if I really wanted to paint.
There's a question in Zoom
Okay.
too, from Christina. She said, what drew you to using watercolor paints?
Yeah, I already.
Did it?
Yeah, I already.
How
answered the
about this
question.
one? Do you limit yourself to a maximum number of colors in painting?
Sometimes yes. Sometimes no. What I mean is, it depends on. I mean, it depends on the mood. But of course, it can help if you minimize the colors that you use, because it makes it more simplified and focused rather than throwing a lot of colors. Yeah, but it's not really the word limit.
We have a question on Facebook from Sandra, and again, I'm going to encourage her, come join us on Zoom. We met in Texas, and she's asking, do you find humidity a problem in the Philippines?
No, I find it advantageous for us as a watercolorist.
Can you explain and talk more about that?
Okay, humidity, in terms of how fast it can dry, it is of your advantage. I mean, of course, I'm not familiar with humidity outside Philippines, but I get used to the weather while painting this medium. But if you're talking about the effect of the paint, I think should not be a problem. What I mean, if the on how to take care the medium or the watercolor, I think should not be a problem.
You're doing a great job. I was speaking during a demo and was getting all my words mixed up because I was focusing so hard on painting. So I have another personal question for you.
Yeah, sure.
I read a quote recently that said, think like an artist, but work like an accountant. Talking about just working hard and just 9 to 5, just do it hard, aggressively and assertively. And I know for so many artists out there, we often have this feeling of, I don't feel like painting, or I only paint when I feel like it. Can you speak a little bit, since you are a professional architect, can you speak a little bit to that aspect of creating irrelevant of the muse, whether you feel like it or not, or maybe your take on this, because I know this is a challenge for many people out there, and it's something all professionals have to overcome. Thank you.
Just fixing battery.
Okay, so I think actually I'm also guilty for that part sometimes, but I need the only thing I need to focus is, especially if sometimes you have a client who wanted to do a commission painting, all you have to do is deliver, regardless of your mood swings or something like that. It's all about, I think it's all about discipline, probably. Yeah, it's all about discipline. And then, yeah, just turning on the mood to paint is, you should find a way on how to control your mood. Like for me, I need to turn on the music, look for some inspirations, go out to the house, and then I think it works. Yeah, that's my own medicine for my mood swings sometimes.
Dino, do you take pictures, or are your paintings from your mind, or a combination of both?
Yeah, I take pictures of my painting as a reference.
Dino, does your being an architect affect your watercoloring in the sense that are you an architect that is more visual or more towards technical?
Okay. In my profession, I think actually we're pushing this aspect in our side as an architect to be inclined more on the artistic side rather than more on the technical side. Because as an architect, you need to be creative. You need to be connected to, to the arts in order to create something new to the eyes. Because if you're talking more on just the technical aspect, yeah, you could like for instance, the engineering, they don't need to consider this aesthetic and all the stuff. It's more on the technical. So that's what we're pushing right now for our field. So at least you have to think out of the box. How can you think out of the box if you're contained with the more on technical? Yeah, so it's really a part of our genes, a part of our blood. If you wanted to express more on the design aspect, you have to be an artist.
I'm always surprised how many people who are architects or in that kind of environment that do watercolor painting.
Yeah, perhaps they're using another medium, but I think more or less they're also an artist.
Yeah, or a creative artist in that field. Yeah. Visualizers, aren't they, really?
Yeah.
But that if you look back in history, is where watercolor became prominent. Your Lord of the Manor would get an artist to come and paint his land with his potential house on it, and they'd get a visualization of the house before it were even built.
Mm.
And that's what they used to do.
Yeah, something like a study of the colors. Yeah. So
Dino, do you typically work from top to bottom,
yeah,
the paper?
if you recline your paper, it's best to start from top to bottom.
Mm.
It helps the water flow going down.
Do you ever paint flat?
Sometimes I position my paper something like this one. If I need to play the water, so I need to put it flat. Not all the time. I won't recline my paper.
So are you adjusting gravity by doing that with the water moving in a fashion to the bottom half? Or by you lifting the paper, are you slowing down gravity?
Yes, exactly. That's the main purpose of having the paper put it a position in flat. Yeah.
In that context, do you like to have the substrate, the thing that you're painting, to be able to turn it around as you need?
Can you please repeat the question, Ian?
Do you like to turn the board that you're using round to suit how you are painting?
Yeah. Sorry, I did not get the question.
I think he's talking about, do you turn your painting on the side or upside down? And I have noticed you do turn your work on an angle at sometimes to paint.
Yeah, tilting. I always tilt my painting. Yes.
Now, while we've got you on, just on the subject of the Philippines, are there any traditional brushes or equipment that you might include as your tools from the Philippines?
Okay. The equipment, most of my tools are not from Philippines, but you can buy local stuff, but it's not that good compared to imported one.
Right.
But I think we're trying to develop. Yeah. Huh? For tilting, probably sometimes I need to use blower for that, so as to push water the other side.
15 minutes.
Okay.
You know, how did you meet the amazing man who is our fearless leader, John? How did you meet him?
John?
Yes, how did you meet John?
We met in Seattle. There was a show in Seattle, and I met Catherine and John. They were one of the sponsors.
Yeah,
I think you still remember that one, John. I'm not sure if you can still remember that.
Of course.
I
Yeah.
remember that. Absolutely.
One of my highlights in my yeah, as an artist, as a watercolorist. I keep telling my friends, "Oh, I met John and Catherine, the owner of Daniel Smith."
Was Ethel in the picture?
I think she wasn't there yet for that.
Not
That
born
one.
yet, God.
She wasn't born that yet.
I was not with Dino on that trip.
Oh,
There you go.
We have a question on Facebook from Sandra Ball asking again,
Mhm.
if you have a favorite artist or artists. And then I have a question also that I was hoping you could answer. Do you have any advice for maintaining your career when you're moving and in a lot of transition? Thank you.
Okay. Favorite artist first. A lot of favorite artists. I have some Western artists like Mary White. It's one of my superhero in watercolor. Of course, the classic one like classic ones are White, under White, and then I have some Chinese superheroes like Guan Wei Xing, Liu Yi, and who else? Rick Wang, and then they're really part. They are really an integral part of my painting career, which somehow, yeah, improve my skills as a watercolorist. Because I'm going to share you this one. I was once asked my friend in Singapore. I was asking with this artist, and he says, "Yeah, those artists are really good, but they are unachievable." So I was really challenged during that time. So I focus more on my skills. And then the second question is for the transition one. Okay, for transition one, it's not really hard for me because the culture and because I was only moving from Asia, so I think it's not really a big step for me to adjust. Yeah, but of course the availability of materials and the opportunity is different when you're outside in Philippines. Yeah, that's what I observe.
There's a question for you, Valerie. Is Dino and Ethel, are we neighbors?
Yeah, we're neighbors.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Do you already have to answer that?
More importantly, how is your little chickens?
Chickens, sorry.
The chickens.
We often ask about the animals in the studio, and we always hear the rooster.
The rooster. Who feeds the roosters?
Actually, in front of our house is a how do you call this one?
Stop house.
Staff house of the
Another.
of another company. So I think the staff was breeding roosters.
Oh. So it's not your chicken that we eat?
No,
Is that ours?
No, I have one there. We have one, Ian.
All
Is it?
right.
We have one chicken. It was given to us supposed to be for food.
Yeah, but we did not slaughter it to be
Make it into chicken soup, but I told Dino, no, you can't have it for food.
Well,
So we're keeping the chicken, yeah, one of those roosters. No, ours is a hen. Should be a hen now.
I know if you're a chicken in Philippines, you're on borrowed time.
So Valerie, we are a couple, and yeah, that's one thing that we're grateful about Dino Smith family. It's a global family, and yeah, we celebrate families. Even in our midst now, there's Leticia and Giovanni, who are always in our live session. They're also a couple from Italy. Thank you for asking, though.
The first time I went to anything that was Filipino, it were a wedding anniversary.
Wow.
And they said, come into the back garden, we're going to show you something. And it were a full pig on a steak, and they were roasting it as part of the wedding anniversary.
Yeah, we call that one lechon. It's
Yeah.
a Filipino, yeah, it's a Filipino dish.
Mm.
Yeah, roasted pork. I think the roasted pork was influenced by, if I'm not wrong, The Chinese, right? Is it Chinese? If I'm not wrong, yeah.
Dino,
Hi.
who was the first brand ambassador, you or Ethel?
You can ask. You can ask John. So,
It's, of course, Dino.
Yeah.
He met John and Catherine first.
yeah.
I see.
Okay, there we go. So I'm going to wrap this up within, how much more time do I have?
We have 8 minutes.
8 minutes? Oh, okay.
I think.
So again, you need to yellows.
Do you share your paint with your roommate, Dino?
No, she always steals my paint. Yeah, we have different palettes. She has her own palette. I have mine. For the brushes, yes, we share the brushes.
Oh, you're so
John,
lucky.
Gabriel, I can't share Dino's palette because he's actually, I would say, I can consider his neat freak with his palette. But on my case, mine look like there's lots of dots on my plate. It's like candies all over a plate, all over the plate. So he does not like that.
Oh,
Okay, Ethel, quit stealing the show.
So
I'm kidding.
okay.
Ethel, you'll have to show us a comparison palette now.
Comparison palette. He was asking.
comparing Dino's palette and mine.
Just put them next to one another and go.
Oh,
Look,
my palette will be very shy from Dino's. But I have top 3 in my mind. My favorite colors. I love Rhodonite Genuine. Because it gives me that natural color of pink for the roses. It's like the natural color for flowers that have pink tone.
mhm.
I love Lamp Black as a good mixer. And that's also the reason why I named our second fur baby Lamp Black.
The dog. Yeah.
Our dog. Our dogs are all named Daniel Smith colors. We have Moonglow, the first one, the second dog, Lamp Black, and the third one is Red.
You can get
By
some
Jackson.
more. You can get some more fur babies now because you've got more colours to choose from.
And have you named the roosters after Daniel Smith colors?
The roosters is not ours.
The hen,
Yeah,
our
the
hen.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, the hen.
Yeah, our hen.
Have you named your house a Daniel Smith color?
Probably. Okay, there you go. So I'm going to wrap this up.
What is your goal with the figure as you're working on it?
Okay, the figure, I won't throw in details on this one. Just the hint that the folds probably, but it's not really a detailed one. Yeah. There we go. Mhm.
Have you painted your house Daniel Smith colors? 4 minutes.
Wait.
This is the, like being married, but having to speed date your palette here.
I'm sorry, Tokyo, would you please repeat the question?
It's not a question, it's more of a comment. It's like, you're married. This is so cute. I love this community. But you're having to speed date your palette.
So they have a thing here in the States where singles go and guys will line on one side of the table and women on the other, and they'll ring a bell every couple minutes and you switch people in front of each other. It's called speed dating.
Speed dating. Okay, there you go. So I go for the net. The net.
So Dino, there's different types of watercolorists, different camps of watercolors.
Sorry.
You got people that paint like Yan Min, and then you got people. What kind of artist would you say you are?
Okay, I'm more into impressionist, a little bit of realist, but not really hyper realism. Last time I used to aim to be a hyper realist artist, but later I discovered that I love more on doing some impression for my pieces. It has an impact for me. It has a kick. So I decided to change direction. Yeah. Okay,
Nice. Do you use the watercolor sticks like Rajat, holding them in your hand or anything like that with the watercolor sticks?
Last time I used sticks, something like a replica of what I have in watercolor, because I ran out of that color and I was only left with the sticks, so I used the sticks.
Once you start using the sticks, I think you have to forget the cakes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
you'll get hooked to that.
Because the pigment is really intense.
Yeah.
Absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah.
When you do any plein air painting, do you use that palette or do you have a smaller, more compact palette with you?
Sometimes I bring this color on site because it's really handy one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also have some compact set. I have Danny Smith pocket sets. Yeah.
Do you use gouache?
Gouache. I haven't tried gouache yet, but probably I'm going to do an experiment for gouache. I think gouache is good. It's an opaque medium. It's really a thick, or if you wanted to go dark, it's really a good medium. But I haven't tried in my painting yet. That's one of my goals probably. So I won't limit myself into the watercolors, because even if I'm not wrong, I think gouache is also a watercolor. Is that right, Jan?
I'm sorry?
Gouache is
Yes,
also
yes.
a watercolor. Yes.
It's a water medium.
Yeah, it's
So
a water medium, but the term is it's also a watercolor.
Okay.
Opaque, although it's opaque. Yeah.
Yeah, it's water soluble.
So what I'm doing now is I'm putting more darks on it so it can pop out now. So because it's all loose, I need to put contrast on it.
Do you ever use a spray bottle?
Yeah, I have spray bottle
He has a lot of spray bottles.
for my hair and for my painting. Yeah.
You really make Dino feel at home, Gab.
Bye.
I use a spray
Thank
bottle
you,
for my beard.
Gabrielle.
My beard gets thirsty.
Wala, overtime na.
Overtime na.
You know how?
Do you have
long
a
is it
favorite
normally-
brush?
Sorry.
Do you have a favorite brush?
The favorite brush, yes, I use number 8 NIF round brush and also some synthetic brushes.
His,
Yeah.
his number 8 is David Taylor's brush.
Mm.
Linsky.
Guys, too many questions. Poor Dino. It's distracting.
Stella.
He cannot paint.
Stella
Mm.
Canfield.
Stella. Hi, Stella.
Hi, Dino. I'm sorry. Too much
It's
distraction.
okay. It's okay. I'm running out of my time.
John, question for John.
Yes.
I heard that they weren't going to harvest madder anymore and that they were taking rose madder out of the palette selections or making that paint rose madder. Have you heard anything about that?
No, we quit using rose madder many years ago.
Okay.
Just because it's a dye, it's a dye bound to a salt, and it was very difficult to maintain the same color from batch to batch to batch. Extremely
Oh.
difficult.
Wasn't my favorite, but I was curious. Go on.
Yeah, so we have a permanent version, which is very close to the rose madder that we used to sell, but
Okay.
it's permanent, it's not fugitive. Rose madder is rose madder in itself is a dye, so it's fugitive.
Mm. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome.
Right.
Okay,
It's overtime now.
is it?
We're overtime.
Okay. I'm going to wrap this up.
Did have a question in the chat. Do you two ever collaborate a painting together?
Yeah, we do. We have a
You mean
collaboration.
me and Dino or other artists?
Yes, they're asking if you and Dino, Ethel.
We did not have an exhibition with collaboration piece, but of course, most of the time we do a collaboration painting, not for exhibition. Yeah, just for that.
Yeah, it's more of him, Gav, fixing my painting.
No.
Yeah, it's like, how do I show this so that my petals would pop more? So yeah, no choice. He has to show it. So that's considered collab, I think.
That question came from Buffy.
Oh,
Okay.
That has actually given me a thought about a question that we can ask people who come on. If there were an artist that you'd like to collaborate with from any era, who would that be?
For collaboration,
what do you want to pick with?
I'm not really sure. Maybe singer.
Singer? Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
You do like your portraits, don't you?
I really like Singer, and we've got some of his paintings here in San Francisco, but I understand that he had a very small palette, that he only used 6 colors, and that really, what? I want to have all sorts of colors, but he really managed that with a very singular small amount. What a fabulous artist.
Yeah, but is it because of the lack of colors during his period? Probably. Yeah.
Never
Not
went
sure.
as much. No, it's just that they learned how to create those colours.
Yeah.
So Dino, when you're done, whenever that happens to be, will you post your finished work for us to see?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to post this one.
I know
Okay,
you-
what I'm doing right now is more on the massing one. Then like that. This is normally my process. After the massing one, I can throw in the darks for the detail for this one.
Because an
Yeah.
hour is, I know an hour is such a tight time frame. And I think the major thing everybody gets out of this is just your process and you're thinking
my
about
process.
how you do your painting, which you've shown and shared so well today.
Mm.
Just marvelous comments on Zoom and on the Facebook. So with that, I wanted to say thank you, Dino, for joining us today. It's wonderful having you. And thank you for just, we had a little bit of an issue. One of our artists had an issue, couldn't come on today, and Dino volunteered to do it. So thank you, Dino. That's much appreciated. Thank you, everybody, for joining today. I wish you a very wonderful weekend and look forward
Thank
to seeing
you.
next week.
Thank you
See
so
you.
much. You're
Thank
welcome,
you.
John. Yeah, thank you so much for
Thank you so
joining.
much. Thank you,
You
Dino.
are so welcome.
Yeah,